Hi all, I'm Jeanette Keynes from Jewelry Arts Inc. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to remove excess backsheet after you're done with your 22 karat gold granulation.
So these are the wire cutters that are my favorite. They're made by Tronex. You can get them on our site if you want a pair for yourself, but basically they come to very, very pointy, very fine tips. And I usually use them for stuff like this when I want to get into these little spaces and get the excess metal away. I don't have to worry about an errant saw blade hitting my granules. So you see what I mean? You just make a little pyramid and cut it right out of there just like that. It's just fast. I mean, you can certainly saw it, but sometimes sawing can be a little iffy right next to granulation, but I don't know. I guess I got in the habit of doing this years ago and the habit has remained. And it's just a really fast way of getting rid of this excess metal. Doesn't create any filings. I mean, I'll have to file eventually, of course, but I can use this to really get in there and get most of those little extra bits. And then I have like whole pieces of metal that I can actually just, put into my scrap and remelt. Just obviously make sure you don't cut into your wires. And when you're working in relatively thin material, sawing is not always as much fun. If it were really thick, that's what I would need to do, but this is pretty quick. Okay, maybe I'll trim a little bit more off the bottom, but then essentially into, filing territory. And I started out using my Joyce Chens to just remove whatever was easily removable. Just make sure, of course, that you don't cut into your granules. Because obviously I want to get as much of that solid metal off before I start filing. Okay, like so, ready to start filing. So there's a little close-up, you see what I mean? I've gotten rid of the vast majority of the excess metal. I'll have a little bit of filing to do, and then I'll be ready pretty much to put my post on. It's just nice to end up with solid bits of metal that you can just remelt rather than a bunch of filings, because if you've ever tried to remelt filings, or melt or remelt, I don't know, they don't always work out super great, so I like solid bits whenever I can get them. Progress report. Earrings are all filed and cleaned up, and I think they look pretty good. Nothing else that I would do. So these are earrings, or I should say, maybe granulation is never simple, but this is it. I'm just ready to put the post on now. These are earrings that match up with a pendant that I made years ago for a client. So really all I have left to do is put the post on. So I'll give you a demo of that. Won't be too long till I'm setting the stones.